everybody? Is my screen visible for everybody? Yes. Guys, in the last session, we have seen how to create Jenkins jobs with build parameters. Right.
This meeting is being recorded.
Good evening, everyone. In the last session, we discussed about how to create a pipeline, Jenkins pipeline, sequence of jobs execution, and how to create build with parameters so that we can pass branch name dynamically to run that build. Now, so today we are going to understand two important concepts in the Jenkins. One is how to work with users in the Jenkins, and the second one is how to work with master and slave configuration in the Jenkins. All right, now let's go to our AWS console. Let's start our Jenkins server. Instance state start. I'm starting my Jenkins server here. That means I'm starting one EC2 instance in which I have installed my Jenkins. Now I'm calling this as a Jenkins server. Once this Jenkins server got started, then I will take the public IP and I will connect to that Jenkins server. I will connect to that Jenkins server. Now, so currently in this Jenkins server, we have one account by default, that is our admin account. In that admin account, we have entire complete access for Jenkins. Now, take this public IP, go to MobaXterm, go to MobaXterm software, click on Jenkins server. Here already it is available. Jenkins server, right click, edit the session, change the IP, because every time IP is getting changed. So I'm given this IP, click on OK. Now connect to this Jenkins. So see what is my present working directory, EC2 user, and who am I? I'm EC2 user. Next, check the status of the Jenkins, sudo systemctl, sudo systemctl status of Jenkins. My Jenkins server is currently running. Now let's take this public IP and access this Jenkins :8080. Yes, Jenkins server opened in our browser. Let's log in into Jenkins with my credentials. All right, I logged in into my Jenkins. So there are several jobs we have created in the Jenkins yesterday for the pipeline, and we have created a pipeline also, and we are able to execute that Jenkins pipeline. Got it. Fine. Now currently, how many users can access my Jenkins? What are the credentials available for Jenkins server now? Only one account is available in Jenkins, that is admin account, where we can verify the users of the Jenkins. Now go to this location, go to this location. Now see this cd space /var/lib/jenkins/users. So that is the default directory of our Jenkins. Cd space, this location I'm going to give here, /var/lib/jenkins/users. Now currently I'm in this location. Inside the root folder, inside the root directory, we have var. Inside the var, we have lib. Inside the lib, we have Jenkins. Inside the Jenkins, we have users. Got my point, guys. Now, ls-l, can you see one file with a name called users.xml? In this users folder, can you see a file with a name called users.xml? Guys, tell me, can you see a file with a name called users.xml? Yes, we can see a file with a name called users.xml. vi users.xml. Can you see the users information? Currently, how many users are available? Currently, there is one user. This is Ashok IT. Ashok IT, and I have some password which is in the secured mode. Okay, so currently there is only one user, my admin user with Ashok IT. Okay, now WQ. Sorry, you cannot edit this now. Just colon Q, quit that file. I'm quitting. So there is one user. All right, now I want to create another user account in my Jenkins, so that because in our team multiple members will be available. So who will use this Jenkins, guys? Developers will be using the Jenkins. Okay, in our project will be having Jenkins. Project is having Jenkins server. Team members need to use this Jenkins to run the jobs and create the jobs. Right here, DevOps people will be available who are admins of the Jenkins. They are responsible to create the jobs in the Jenkins. Okay, so now a project is having a DevOps team. Assume that there are 2 members available in the DevOps team. And for this project, we have 2 developers and we have 2 testers. Okay, development team is available, testing team is available, and DevOps team is also available for our project. Now, only DevOps people will use the Jenkins. Developers and testers also will use the Jenkins. Guys, tell me, only DevOps team will use the Jenkins. Developers and testers also will use the Jenkins. I want your answers. All the team members will use the Jenkins. Now, this is called as my DevOps team. This is called as my DevOps team. And this is called as dev team, development team. This is my development team. And this is my testing team in the project. We have several teams like this. This DevOps team should be able to access the Jenkins. They should be able to log in into Jenkins server. Development team should be able to log in into Jenkins server. And the testing team also should be able to log in into Jenkins server. So now here in our project, multiple teams are available. All these teams want to communicate with Jenkins, right? All the team members should have access for Jenkins. Okay, here if you see all the team members in a project, all the team members should have Jenkins access. Should have Jenkins access. DevOps team members will use Jenkins to create Jenkins jobs. Jenkins jobs for build and deployment automation. Development team will use the Jenkins to run the job to deploy to perform build and testing. Now, dev and testing team members will use Jenkins to run the jobs. Dev and testing team members will use Jenkins to run the jobs. Guys, able to understand this? So Jenkins will be used by only developers, or Jenkins will be used by all the team members in the project? Now tell me, Jenkins will be used by only DevOps engineers in the project, or Jenkins will be used by all the team members in the project? Jenkins will be used by all the team members in the project. DevOps team will use it. DevOps team will log in into Jenkins and they will create the jobs in the Jenkins. And the development team will be available. They will use the Jenkins just to run the jobs. Similarly, testing team will use the Jenkins to run the jobs. Developers want to do the integration testing, so developer will run the dev job to deploy the code into dev environment. Testers want to test the application, so tester will run the SIT job to deploy the code into SIT environment for their testing purpose. Now, can we give this admin account credentials for all the team members? Can we give this whatever that admin account is available by default, which we have created at the time of Jenkins installation? Can I share my Jenkins admin account details to all the team members? Is it recommended? Is it recommended or it is not recommended? It is not recommended. Then what we need to do? What we need to do? Do we need to use the same account by all the team members will use the same Jenkins account, or we need to create individual account for every team member? We need to create individual account for every team member. Are you guys able to understand? Are you guys able to understand? We need to create individual account for every team member. We should not share the admin account for these things. If there are 10 developers available, 10 accounts we have to create. If there are 100 developers available, 100 accounts we have to create. Because every team member should have their own account to log in into the Jenkins and to run the jobs in the Jenkins. Then only we can track it who is running which job in the Jenkins. Now we need to track it who is using Jenkins. And to be frank, when I was working in the Deloitte company, my team members are 1500. That is a very big project we have developed in the Deloitte for 7 years. I was there in the project for 4 years of time. 1500 team members are available. For everybody, account is there in the Jenkins. Everybody will have their own account. Through LDAP, they are going to configure that accounts in the Jenkins. Every team member will have their own account for Jenkins. Now, here we need to understand how to create the accounts in the Jenkins. Let's understand. Now I logged in into account using my admin user. So there is a admin account. Now go to manage Jenkins. Go to manage Jenkins. In the manage Jenkins, can you see one option called manage users? Create, delete, modify users that can log in into this Jenkins. My Jenkins server is running. Who can log in into this Jenkins? I can manage those users by using manage users option. Currently, how many users available in Jenkins? Ashok IT. That is the account. That is the admin account. Only one account is available in Jenkins. Now, here there is an option called create user. Now, username. Let me give the username as Raju. Password Raju at the rate 123. Confirm password Raju at the rate 123. Full name I'm giving as Raju. Email address for Raju at the rate ibm.com is company mail ID. Okay. Create user. Now I have created one account called Raju account, and let me create one more account called Rani. Rani at the rate 123. Rani at the rate 123. Full name Rani at the rate ibm.com. So now, can you see that? So total there are how many accounts available now? Total how many accounts available? Total 3 accounts available. Ashok IT is the admin account. I cannot delete that account. Raju account is there. Settings available for Raju. Full name Raju, description, credentials, email ID, views, notification URL, password. There are so many options that we can configure for the account which we have created. Here, Raju available, Rani is available, Ashok IT is available. Like this, there are accounts. Manage Jenkins. Go to manage users. Now, can you see there are 3 user accounts available? One is Ashok IT, and the next one is Raju, and next one is Rani. Raju at the rate 123, Rani at the rate 123. So there are 3 users available. Now, let me log out. Let me log in into Raju account, Raju at the rate 123. Click on sign in. Am I able to log in into Raju account? Am I able to log in into Raju account? Can Raju create the jobs here? Can Raju create the job? Raju also can create the job. Let me log out and let me log in into Rani account. Rani at the rate 123. Click on sign in. Yes, I'm able to log in into Rani account now. Can Rani also create the job in the Jenkins? Yes, Rani also can create the job in the Jenkins. Go to manage Jenkins. Go to manage users. Raju, Rani, Ashok IT. Ashok IT is an admin account, root account, I can say for the Jenkins. It can manage everything in the Jenkins. Now I have Raju and I have Rani. So whatever the permissions are available for Ashok IT account, same permissions are available for Raju and Rani also. But here, Raju is a DevOps team member, Rani is a development team member. Raju is a DevOps team member, Rani is development team member. So do we need to give the all the permissions for the Rani to create the job, configure the job, manage the jobs, or Rani should have only permission to run the job? Are you guys clear with my point? So there are three users are available. In the three users, Ashok IT is the main account in the Jenkins. That is called as a super admin account, I can say. And Raju Rani accounts are available. Currently, Raju Rani also having all the permissions. Whatever the permissions are available for Ashok IT, same permissions are available for Raju and Rani also. But here, I have a requirement. Raju is a DevOps team member. DevOps team members should be able to perform all activities in Jenkins. All activities, all operational activities. All operational activities will be done by this DevOps team. They should be able to create the jobs and they should be able to manage the jobs. They should be able to modify the jobs and they should be able to run the jobs also. Whereas DevOps team only run the job, only run permission. I want to give only job run permission for DevOps, I mean for development team, only job run permission. Similarly for testing team also, I want to give only job run permission. Job run permission. Are you guys getting my point here? Are you guys getting my point here? Raju is a DevOps team member. Raju should be able to create the job, should be able to configure, modify the job, should be able to execute the job also. But what about the development team and the testing team? These people should be able to create the job in the Jenkins. These people should be able to modify the job. No. For these development team members and the testing team members, I will give only permission to run the job. That's it. Okay. Okay. Are you clear with my point now? Yes. So how to remove the permissions for the Rani to run the job? Currently, I'm in which account, guys? Can you see currently I'm in which account now? Rani account. Does the Rani having a permission to create the job, new item job? Rani can create the job also. Rani can create the job also. Now let me log out. Let me go to my super account, Ashok IT. I'm signing into Jenkins. I'm logging into Jenkins with my super account. Username is Ashok IT and my password. All right. Now I want to remove the permission for Rani for admin access. Rani should be able to only run the job. Rani should not be able to create the jobs in the Jenkins. Go to manage Jenkins. Manage Jenkins. Now, can you see configure global security option? Secure Jenkins define who is allowed or access or use the system. Already users are created. There is an option called manage users. By using manage users, I have created Raju account and I have created Rani account. Now I want to manage who is allowed to what Raju should do in this Jenkins and what Rani should do in this Jenkins. I can manage by using configure global security option. Okay, configure global security option. Configure a global security option. Authentication, security realm, Jenkins own user database. Now here, do you want to use Jenkins own database to access this Jenkins, right? Do you want to use Unix or user group, or do you want to go for LDAP? In the company, LDAP server will be available. All the employee details in the company will be maintained in the LDAP. Company will give you LDAP server. Then you can configure the LDAP server details. So You no need to create the user accounts in the Jenkins directly. The employees details, all the employees belongs to the company will be in the LDAP server. So if you configure LDAP server, their credentials will be authenticated with the LDAP. Or do you want to use Jenkins own user database? So if I create a user, that user data will be stored in the Jenkins own database. Currently I'm going with the Jenkins own user database. Allow users to sign up. Do you want to give the permission for users to create the account? No, I don't want them to create the account. Authorization. Can you see here? Authorization, authentication and authorization. Authentication means who can access our application. Authorization means what the users can do in our application. That is called authorization. Logged in users can do anything. Currently, what is the permission available? Logged in users can do anything. Raju, Rani, Suresh, Naresh, Mahesh, whoever having an account in the Jenkins, they can do anything in my Jenkins. That is the reason we see Raju is having a permission to create the job. Rani is also having the permission to create the job, because currently in my Jenkins, what is the global security option available? What is the global security option is available? Now, authentication and authorization. These are the two important concepts that we have to understand related to security. Authentication means who can log in into our application. Authorization means what the users can do in our Jenkins. That is what the difference between authentication and authorization. Authentication means who can log in into our Jenkins. Authorization means once they log in, what operations they can perform in the Jenkins. Are you guys getting the difference between authentication and authorization? Guys, are you getting the difference between authentication and authorization? Are you guys getting the difference between authentication and authorization? Can you tell me what is the difference between authentication and authorization? Can you tell me what is the difference between authentication and authorization? Authentication means who can log in. Authorization means what they can do. So now for authentication purpose, I'm using Jenkins own database. Whenever I create a user account, it will be stored into Jenkins own database. Authorization, currently what is available for authorization now? Logged in users can do anything. Logged in users can do anything. That means everybody can do anything in the Jenkins. So do we need to keep this option? Can we allow everybody to do anything in the Jenkins? No, no. Now we have to change this authorization in the Jenkins. Go here, project based matrix authorization strategy. Project based matrix authorization strategy, or matrix based security. Matrix based security, you can add the users to a group. For the group you can give the permissions. Now as I told you, DevOps group will be available. All the DevOps people will be added to one DevOps group. What the DevOps group can do, we can give the permissions here. Now all the developers will be added to one group. For all the developers we will give one permission. All the testing team members will be available. We will add all the testers to one group, and we will give the permissions for testers, what they can do in the Jenkins. Are you guys able to understand? Let me come back. Configure global security. Go to manage Jenkins. So there is an option called configure global security. Secure Jenkins. Define who is allowed to access or use the system. Open this. Now, authentication, who can log in into our Jenkins? Authorization, once the users are authenticated, what they can do in our application, that is authorization. For authentication, I am using Jenkins own database. Okay. For authorization, currently the default option, logged in users can do anything. Raju can do anything. Rani can do anything. But I don't want the Rani to do all the operations, because Rani is a development team member. Rani should have only permission to run the job. Rani should not be able to create the job in the Jenkins. Go here, matrix based security, add the user, enter the username, Rani, click on OK. Now user Rani came here. Overall, credentials, agent, job, run, view, SCM, like that there are several permissions are available. There are some permissions are available. That permissions we can give here. Are you guys getting my point? There are some permissions available. We can give those permissions here. Manage Jenkins, global security. Go here, matrix based security. Add the user. Username I am giving as Rani. Click on OK. Rani user added here. Now for the Rani, I will give only job, build, cancel, configure, create, delete, discover, move, read, workspace, delete, run, update, configure. I will give just a job build for user Rani. I'm just giving the build permission for Rani so that she can just build the job, just she can execute the job. If I give this option, create, Rani also can create the job. I don't want to give the create permission for Rani. I will just give build permission for Rani. Job, she can read the job, she can build it. She can build it. Now see here, job build permission I'm giving for Rani. Okay. Now click on save. Click on save. Now log out. Let's go to Rani account. Rani @123. Click on sign in. Access denied. Rani is missing the overall read permission. The overall read permission is also not available for Rani. So nothing is accessible for Rani. Nothing is accessible for Rani. Click on logout. Go to Ashok IT and let me go to my super account. Click on sign in. Manage Jenkins. Global security. Global security. Rani. For Rani overall read permission I am giving. Overall read. Is Rani having administrator permission? If I give administrator permission, Rani can do everything in the Jenkins. Whatever Ashok IT user can do, Rani also can do everything. Okay. Now here, I'm not giving the administrator permission for Rani. I'm giving overall read permission and the job build permission I'm giving. Two permissions, three permissions I'm giving. She can read the job and she can build the job and the overall Jenkins options she can read. Ashok IT is having administrator access. Rani is having only limited permissions. Overall read permission is there to display the options in the Jenkins dashboard. Job build permission available. Job read permission is available. Save it. Okay. Now log out from Ashok IT. Go to Rani account. Rani @123. Click on sign in. Now can you see Rani account having some options? Yes, Rani account is having some options. Can you see there is a option create item? Do we have the create item option for Rani? Do we have create item option for Rani? Why that option is not coming for Rani? Can Rani create the job in the Jenkins now? Can Rani create the job in the Jenkins now, or Rani cannot create the job in the Jenkins now? Rani cannot create the job in the Jenkins now because she is a development team member. Rani is having only permission to run the job. When you go to the job, does the Rani having a build permission? Is the Rani having a build permission? Rani can execute the job or Rani cannot execute the job? Rani can execute the job or Rani cannot execute the job? Rani can execute the job, but Rani cannot create the job. Can Rani change the build permission, build properties? Does she having a configure option? Can Rani edit the build details? Can Rani edit the build details? Rani cannot edit the build details. She cannot edit also. Only she is having a run permission. That's it. Log out. Go to Raju account. Raju. Raju @123. Click on sign in. Raju is missing overall read permission. Do you have, did we provide the permission for Raju to do the activity? Raju is able to access anything in the Jenkins? No, there is no access for Raju. Now click on logout. Go to Ashok IT account, super account, sign in. Okay, go to manage Jenkins. Go to configure global security. Now here only for Rani I have given the permission. For Raju no permission is available. Add user, enter the username Raju. Raju is added. For Raju I'm giving administrator access. What is the permission I'm giving for Raju? For Raju I am giving administrator access. Click on save, then log out, go to Raju account, Raju at the rate 123, sign in. Now Raju having all the options, manage Jenkins, new item. Can Raju create the jobs now? Can Raju create the jobs now? Okay, now let me create the job using Raju account. Job name I am giving as Hello World job. Okay, click on OK. Now general source code management, nothing. Build triggers, nothing. Build environment also not giving anything. Build step, execute shell, just I'm giving as echo hello world. Echo hello world. Post build action also I'm not giving anything. Apply and save. Yes, back to dashboard. Hello world job is created by Raju. Is Raju having option to run the job? Raju is admin. He created the job in the Jenkins. Is the Raju having a permission to run the job? Yes. Raju having a permission to change the job? Raju having a permission to delete the job? Raju having a permission to rename? He can do everything because he is a administrator in our Jenkins. He can perform all the activities. DevOps team members will have administrator access in the Jenkins. Now log out from Raju, go to Rani account, Rani at the rate 123, sign in. Okay, click on hello world job. Can you see what options available for Rani? Can she change the job? Can she delete the job? Can she rename the job? What Rani can do? What Rani can do? Only run. Click on build now. Rani is just running the job in the Jenkins. Now see here, job is executed. Job is executed. Click on the job number. Go to console output. Hello world is printed. I executed a shell script, echo command that is used to print the content on the console. Rani is able to execute the jobs in the Jenkins. Finished. Success. The job executed successfully. Job executed successfully. Now, so you understand how to manage users in the Jenkins with this? You understand how to manage users in the Jenkins now? How to provide the permissions for the users, what permissions we need to give for the DevOps people, what permissions we need to give for the developers and testers in the project. DevOps people will have administrator permission. They can do anything in the project. Developers and testers will have only build execution permission, overall read permission, and for build, they can do only for the job, they can only execute the build. That's it. They can't create the job, they can't delete the job, they can't change the job. So whatever the DevOps engineer is going to create, that will be executed by the developers and testers in the Jenkins. So developers and testers also should have the knowledge on the Jenkins because they should log in into Jenkins and they should be able to run the job. They need to know how to run the job. Are you clear with my point? Are you clear with my point? Okay, now, so go to Ashok IT. This is the super account, administrator account. So this is, अरे यार क्या हुआ? Can I say Jenkins is a role-based application? Can I say Jenkins is a role-based application? Yes or no? Yes, Jenkins is a role-based application. Manage Jenkins. configure system, configure users. There are several options that providers, Jenkins credential provider, folder, user credentials provider. We can configure the credential providers also. Then manage Jenkins, create users, manage users. So there are 3 users are available in Jenkins. Click on settings. You can configure email ID, password, and all here. Jenkins own user database is available. These users can log in into Jenkins. This is a subset of this list, right? System, no reply, system, Ashok IT, Raju, Rani. These are the users which are available in our Jenkins, right? Configure a global security option. There we can see the users. Add group. If the user group is available, then it is asking that you can add the particular group also, and for the group you can provide the permissions. All right. Fine. Next one. Another important topic in the Jenkins that we need to understand is Jenkins master and slave configuration. How to work with Jenkins master and Jenkins slave configuration. It is damn sure interview question when you are attending an interview as a DevOps engineer. It's a 100% interview question, guys. What is master and slave architecture in Jenkins? Master slave architecture. First of all, why we need to go for this master slave architecture and how to work with this master slave architecture also we are going to today. Good. So this we understood already, how to work with users in the Jenkins, working with the users in Jenkins. Let me give this a screenshot. Working with users and roles. So as a DevOps engineer, you need to know all these DevOps activities. Yes. So with this, you can understand what are the roles and what are the users, how to deal with the roles and users in the Jenkins. Next one is master and slave configuration in Jenkins. Now, guys, here currently we have taken one EC2 instance. Currently, we have taken one EC2 instance. Now, inside this EC2 instance, we have installed Jenkins. Am I right? So this is my EC2 VM, EC2 virtual machine. In this EC2 virtual machine, I have installed Jenkins software. Am I correct? In this Jenkins, now we can create jobs. Job 1, job 2, job 3, job 3, job, and so on, job 10. I'm creating multiple jobs in the Jenkins in order to run my jobs. In order to deploy my application to multiple environments, I have taken a virtual machine called Linux virtual machine by using EC2 Elastic Compute Cloud. In that EC2 virtual Linux machine, I have installed my Jenkins server. In that Jenkins server, I can create the jobs, I can create the users, and I can create the jobs in the Jenkins. Now, assume that I have created 10 jobs because my project is having 10 environments. My project is having 10 environments. Now, environment 1 available, environment 2, environment 3, environment 4. Let me call it as env1. Let me call it as env1. Let me call it as env2 and env3 and so on. I have env4 or env10. So now every Jenkins job is responsible to deploy the code into one environment. Job 1 will go to environment 1. Job 2 will deploy the code into environment 2. Job 3 will deploy the code into environment 3. Job 10 will deploy the code into environment 10. So like this, these are my app environments. These are my app environments. Now for my project is very complex project. So there are several environments are available. Assume that there are 10 environments available for my application. I want to deploy my project into these 10 environments. I want to deploy the project into these 10 environments. When I deploy the project into, when I want to deploy the project into 10 environments, I have created 10 jobs in the Jenkins. Now, multiple developers are working with this Jenkins. Multiple DevOps people are available. Developers are available. So there is a big user group is available. Big user group available who are using this Jenkins, who are running the jobs very frequently to perform automated builds and deployments. To perform automated builds and deployments, there are several users are available, some developers are available, some testers are available, some DevOps engineers are available, some management people are available. All these people are using this Jenkins server to perform build and deployment activities of our application. So this is my user group, application project team members. These all are project team members. Okay. In this team members, DevOps people are available, developers are available, and testers also available. All these people are connecting to Jenkins. Every team member is having an account in the Jenkins. Just now we discussed how to create the account in the Jenkins. Some people will have administrator access. Some people will have only job execution access. We have taken Raju account and Rani account. For Raju account, we have given administrator access. For Rani account, we have given just build run a permission. Okay, similarly, in the project, several team members will be available. For those team members, based on their team, we will provide the permission in the Jenkins. We will define what they can do in the Jenkins. That is called authorization. All these people will have authentication permission, but authorizations will be changing from person to person in the team. Okay, guys, now tell me, if these people are running 10 jobs at a time, if the people are running 10 jobs at a time, will it become a burden for my machine or will not be a burden for my machine? Yes or no? So 10 jobs are available here, 10 members are there, all the people are keep on modifying the code and they are keep on running the jobs in the Jenkins. So if 10 jobs are started in the Jenkins at a time, definitely the burden will be increased on the Jenkins server and burden will be increased on my EC2 instance also. All the jobs will be in the queue. Number of executors will be less. So now all the 10 people started the 10 jobs at a time. Then jobs will be in the queue. Burden will be increased on the server and my system also may hang. My build and deployments may get a delay. Now, if you have several jobs to run, several jobs, if you want to execute at a time, then it will increase load on the Jenkins server and it will affect on the performance of the Jenkins server also. Are you guys able to understand the problem with this approach? Are you guys able to understand the problem with this approach? Assume that your project is having 50 team members. There is one Jenkins server. For your project, there are 20 environments available. For every environment, one job is available. 20 jobs are available. If the people are running the Jenkins jobs, all the Jenkins jobs, if they started at a time, then it will increase burden on the Jenkins. Okay, is it recommended to follow this approach to run the jobs in the Jenkins in the real time? Is this the recommended approach to run the jobs of the Jenkins in the real time? It's not recommended. It's not recommended. That's why, that's why Jenkins introduced a concept called distributed architecture. Jenkins introduced a concept called distributed architecture, that is called master and slave configuration. Master and slave configuration concept introduced by Jenkins to resolve this problem. Now see, what is that master and slave configuration in the Jenkins? Let's understand what is a master slave configuration in the Jenkins. I am going to take one EC2 instance here. I'm going to take one EC2 instance here. In this EC2 instance, my Jenkins will be available. I will have a EC2 virtual machine. In this EC2 virtual machine, I'm going to install my Jenkins server. This is called as my master node of the Jenkins. Master Jenkins, where I will create the jobs. That is called master. So this, in this EC2, I'm going to take my Jenkins. Jenkins server will be installed in this EC2. This is called as master node of the Jenkins. Master node of the Jenkins. Now, in this Jenkins only, I'm going to create the jobs also. Job 1, job 2, and so on, job 10. I will create the jobs in the master node of the Jenkins. Master node of the Jenkins. But I will not execute these jobs on the master. I am going to create the slaves for the Jenkins to execute. Here, I will take one slave, Jenkins slave 1, then Jenkins slave 2, and Jenkins slave 3. Slave 1, slave 2, slave 3. Like this, I'm going to take here. So this one, I will call it as Jenkins slave 1. Slave 1, nothing but which is going to help the Jenkins to run. Jenkins slave 1, and this is called as my Jenkins slave 2. Jenkins slave 2, and this is going to act as Jenkins slave 3. Now, 3 slaves will be available for my Jenkins. Now, this is my Jenkins master node. This is called as my Jenkins master node. The jobs creation will be done in the Jenkins master only, but the jobs execution will happen on the Jenkins slaves. Now, this master node will be connected to these Jenkins slaves. Okay, job creation we are going to do in the master, where in which machine Jenkins software will be installed. In which machine Jenkins software will be installed? Guys, can you tell me in which machine Jenkins software will be installed? In master machine, in the master node. In first, I will take one EC2 instance. First, I will take one EC2 instance. In this EC2 instance, I'm going to install my Jenkins software. In this Jenkins software only, I'm going to create my jobs. So this is called as Jenkins master node. It is called as a Jenkins master node. Now in this Jenkins, I have created 10 jobs in order to automate build and deployments of my application. In order to automate build and deployments of my application. If I run all the jobs in one machine, then definitely the burden will be increased on the server. So to reduce that burden, we are going to take Jenkins slaves. Sir, what is the meaning of these Jenkins slaves? I'm going to take another EC2 VM. I'm going to take another EC2 VM, one EC2 VM for slave 1, another EC2 VM for slave 2, another EC2 VM for slave 3. These slaves are available. What is the purpose of these slaves? These slaves are just used to run the job. That's it. Jenkins software will not be available in the slave machine. Jenkins software will be available in the master node. Slave machine is just used for execution purpose. Job execution will be done on the slave machine. Job creation will be done on the master machine. This is called Jenkins master and slave configuration, which is very important question in the interview. What is a master slave configuration? Why we need to go for master slave configuration in the Jenkins? We can take Jenkins software in one machine. We can create the jobs in that Jenkins. If we run multiple jobs at a time, then burden will be increased on the Jenkins. So to overcome that burden, to reduce the burden on the Jenkins, we are going to use the Jenkins master and slaves configuration. Do I need to install the Jenkins server in the slaves machines? In the Jenkins slaves, do I need to install the Jenkins? No need. No need. Jenkins software will be installed only on the master machine, and the slaves machines will be available just with Java. Here, we just need to install the Java software because Jenkins has to execute now. Jenkins is based on the Java software. So in the slaves machines, you need to install just Java software. If you install the Java in the slaves machine, then we can execute Jenkins jobs on the slaves. Jenkins jobs will be created on the master machine. Jenkins job execution will happen in the slave machine. Now I have 10 jobs. I will create 10 slaves. Every job will execute in a different slave. Then button will be there on the Jenkins master. Button will not be there on the Jenkins master. Button will not be there on the Jenkins master because the jobs creation will happen on the master node and the jobs execution will happen in the slave node. A beautiful concept, right? Jenkins master and slaves. A beautiful concept or not? Guys, come on. A beautiful concept or not? Jenkins master and slave concept. Job creation you will do on the one machine. Job execution you will do on the another machine. That is a Jenkins master and slave configuration. Now, can I have 10 slaves for my Jenkins master? Can I have 10 slaves for my Jenkins master, guys? Can I take 10 slaves for my Jenkins master? Any number of slaves you can take for your master. Now, if I have 10 slaves for my Jenkins master, how many places I need to install my Jenkins software? In how many places Jenkins software will be installed, guys? Can you tell me? Jenkins software will be installed on the master node or Jenkins software will be installed on the slave node. Send request. Send request. Okay. Send a request. Send a request. The master node will send a request to the slave node. Slave node is going to execute the job in the slave machine. In the master node, we are going to create the job and we are going to configure the job execution triggers. Execution will have only execution will happen on the slave. Creation, modification, scheduling, running, everything will happen on the master node. Only execution will happen on the slave node. If execution is happening on the slave node, then button will not be there on the master node. Jenkins configuration without master and slave. Jenkins without master and slave setup. Jenkins without master and slave setup. And here Jenkins with master and slave setup. Jenkins with master and slave setup. So can you understand the difference? Can you understand the difference? Jenkins with master and slave, without master and slave. What is the difference? What is the difference, guys? Can you observe the difference? Come on. Guys, are you getting my point or not? How interesting topic it is. Observe that. Understood. People are not responding. Yeah. Okay, for this I have given the notes also, guys. Notes is very big. You no need to concentrate on this theory, but if you understand this diagram, then whatever I have mentioned in the diagram, same thing I kept in the notes also. It is becoming difficult for me to type because already it's taking too long to complete all the concepts, because I can't leave a concept with a partial knowledge. So we need to do the real postmortem on every tool that we are going to discuss. Okay. Yeah, Harsha Reddy, please have some patience, man. At the end, I will give permission to speak out. Okay. At the end of the session, I will give the permission to speak. Now, I have given some theory part. What is master slave? Why we need to go for master slave? In the Jenkins master, your main Jenkins server is the master server. The master jobs to include scheduling the build jobs, dispatching the builds to slaves for actual execution, monitor the slaves, recording and presenting the build results. A master instance of Jenkins can also execute the build jobs directly. And the master node of the Jenkins, we can create the jobs, we can schedule the jobs, and we can execute the jobs. And the master can send a request to the slave also for execution. Master is the main node of the Jenkins. What is the slave? Slave is a Java executable that runs on a remote machine. Now, it hears a request from the master instance. It hears a request from the master instance. Slaves can run on variety of operating system. The job of a slave is to do as they are told to. Whatever the master will tell, slave has to do that work only. Clear? So you can create the jobs in the Jenkins a single machine. You can run all the jobs in one machine. It will increase burden on the Jenkins server. Instead of that, you can take the slaves for the Jenkins, and the job creation, job scheduling you can do on the master machine. Job creation, job scheduling you can do on the master. Job execution you can do on the slave. Can you tell me what is the advantage if I go for this approach? Can you tell me what is the advantage if I go for this approach? Any idea? What is the advantage? What is the advantage I'm going to get? Work is distributed, faster execution, deployments will be faster, load is distributed. Load is distributed. Okay. Can we create one? Can we create one Jenkins master? Already Jenkins is running on one machine. So we can consider this as a Jenkins server is a master server. I will call it as a Jenkins master, where I have my Jenkins installed. Now I need to create one slave and I want to run the Jenkins on the slave machine. Can we do that process, guys? Can we do that process now? Just 10 to 15 minutes. We will be able to set up Jenkins master and slave configurations. Okay. Let me take one EC2 instance, Amazon Linux EC2, Amazon Linux EC2. Click on select T2 micro, configure instance details, number of instances. I'm taking one. If you want to two slaves, then you can take two. Two EC2 instances will be created. Currently, I'm taking one EC2 instance. Default VPC, storage by default 8 GB, tags, yes, security group. Let me go with existing security group. Ashok IT security group is available. Review on launch, click on launch, key pair, my Linux VM key pair, acknowledge this, launch instance. Now, EC2 instance got created. Let me rename this. Let me take it as Jenkins slave 1. Jenkins slave 1. Now let me filter the instances based on the state. Instance state running. Okay, let's wait. Jenkins master server will come and Jenkins slave server also will come now. So these are two EC2 instances basically. One is a Jenkins master server, another one is a Jenkins slave server. In the master server, already Jenkins is installed and Jenkins is running as expected. Now, let me go to Jenkins slave. It is a new EC2 instance which created just now. Let's copy this IP address, go to MobaXtrum. Let's connect to this session, SSH, remote host, specify username. This username I'm taking as EC2 user, key pair, private key, PEM file, click on open, click on OK. Yep, I connected to another EC2 instance, which is having IP address, public IP. So this is my slave machine public IP 251 is my slave machine public IP. Sudo yum update -y. I just want to update the existing packages in my EC2 VM, which I'm going to treat as slave machine. It is just to use it to run the Jenkins. That's it. It is just to use it to run the Jenkins. That's it. I don't want to do anything extra here. Okay. Now it has to clone the code. So I'm going to install git client here, guys. Sudo yum update is done. Sudo yum install git -y. I'm installing git client software because it has to pull the source code from the repository. Yes, git client also installed. And let me install Java software also, because if I want to run the Jenkins job, Java should be installed here. I'm installing Java. Yes, Java installed. So what are the things that I have installed here? Git client I have installed, Java I have installed. That's it. Cool. Now let's check it. Java version. Let's check it. Java version. Yeah, JDK 1.8 installed. Git client also installed. You can go for git help pull. It is displaying all the information related to pull command. It is displaying all the information related to pull command. Okay. How can I come out from this? Press H for help or Q to quit. Q. Yes, I quit it. So with this, what are the softwares I have installed in my slave machine, guys? Can you tell me? What are the softwares I have installed in my slave machine? Did I install Jenkins? Sudo. First, did I install Jenkins in my slave machine? Or Jenkins not installed? Sudo systemctl status Jenkins. Jenkins could not be found. In my slave machine, Jenkins is not available. Just I have installed Git and JDK. Okay. Now see, who am I? EC2 user. What is my present working directory? EC2 user. Let me create one directory, mkdir. I'm taking it as slave node. Just I have created one directory with a name called slave node. Just I have created one directory to store the Jenkins job details. When the job is executed, it is going to pull the source code, right? For that configuration, I have created one empty directory called slave node directory. Now, what is my present working directory? Home EC2 user. Who am I? EC2 user. What is available in the EC2 user home directory? One slave node empty directory is available. CD space slave node ls-l. Currently, nothing is available in the slave node. Are you guys clear with this process now? Are you guys clear with this process? So with this, how many machines we have? How many machines we have? Can you tell me? Two machines we have. What are those two machines? What are those two machines? Can I say that master and slave? Master and slave is available. In which machine Jenkins software is installed? In which machine Jenkins software is installed? In master machine. What softwares I have installed in the slave machine? What softwares I have installed in the slave machine? I just installed Git and Java. That's it. Why we need Git? What is the purpose of Git? Why I have installed Git in the slave? To clone the repository. To clone the repository. And why I have installed Java in the slave? To run the job. Job is based on Jenkins. It is a Jenkins job, right? Jenkins is based on Java, so we need the Java software. TK. Very good. Very good. Now let's log in into our Jenkins and let's log in into our Jenkins. Let's set up a slave in the Jenkins and let's run the job by using slave. Okay, fine. Now go to manage Jenkins. Can you see one option called manage nodes and clouds? Can you see one option manage nodes and clouds? I connected to my Jenkins master node. In the master node of Jenkins, there is an option called manage nodes and clouds. Go to manage nodes and clouds. Currently, do I have any node or we have built-in node? Is there any additional node available? I have just built-in node now. Come on. Is there any node configured now? No other node is available. Just my built-in node is available. So now what should I do? What should I do now? There is an option called new node creation. So what is the option I am using? Go to Jenkins and go to one option called manage Jenkins. Go to one option called manage Jenkins. In this Jenkins manage Jenkins option, can you see one option called manage nodes? Go to manage nodes. Here, new node. Guys, node creation is very important here. I have given the steps also. Working with the master slave architecture, working with the Jenkins master slave architecture, working with the Jenkins master and slave architecture, working with Jenkins master and slave architecture. Create Jenkins master. We have done all these things. EC2 instance, connecting to that, Git client, Java, install Jenkins, JDK Maven plugins, port number in security group, Jenkins server in the browser. We have done already. Our master node is available. This is the step one, master node creation. And step two, slave node creation. Create EC2 instance, connect to EC2 instance using MobaXterm, install Git client, install Java software. We have done that. Create one directory in home EC2 user slave node. I have already created the directory also. This is my present working directory, slave node directory I have created. Are you clear with these two steps now? Are you clear with these two steps? Is there anything confusing for you? Are these two steps are very simple and straightforward? Is there any confusion here? Already we have Jenkins machine where we have installed Jenkins. Already we are using that from last 3-4 days. And I have created a new EC2 and installed Git client and Java software. I created one empty directory. That's it. So we have Jenkins and Jenkins master node available. Create Jenkins master and create Jenkins slave. These are simple and straightforward. Next, we need to configure slave node in Jenkins master node. We need to configure slave node in Jenkins master node. So this is the important step. Master node is available in one, master is running in one EC2, slave is running in another EC2. Now we need to connect this slave to master so that master can send the instruction to the slave to execute the job. Guys, look at the diagram. Jenkins software is running in one EC2 and I want to execute that Jenkins job in another EC2. So in which machine my Jenkins software is installed, I'm calling that as a Jenkins master node. Where I want to execute my Jenkins job, that I will call as Jenkins slave node. Now, master node available, slave node is available. Currently, is there any mapping between this master node and slave node machines? Currently, do we have any mapping between master node and slave node, or currently these are two independent virtual machines? Do we have any mapping between them, or they are two independent virtual machines now? They are two independent virtual machines. In one machine, Jenkins server is running. In another machine, nothing is available. In one machine, Jenkins is running. In another machine, nothing is available. Just Java is available and Git is available. Jenkins is running in one machine. So there is no mapping. Now I need to connect them. Now I need to connect them. So why I need to connect them? If I connect the slave to master, then master can send a request to the slave to execute the job. Are you guys getting my point? Why we need to connect the slave node to master node? If a slave is connected to the master, then only master can send a request to the slave to execute the job. Master should give the instruction to the slave to execute the job. So the slave node should be connected to master node so that master node can execute the job on the slave node so that load will be distributed. This is called master slave architecture in the Jenkins. Damn sure interview question. Guys, I'm trying my best to explain you what we are using in my company project. If you are not able to understand, please let me know. I will repeat it because as a DevOps engineer, you have to do these configurations in the company tomorrow. सबको समझ में आया? అర్థమవుతుందా? తెలుగు people. Very good. So now I have taken one virtual machine. Someone is asking to repeat. Guys, understand. I have taken one virtual machine. In this, I have installed my Jenkins. This is called my Jenkins master. In this machine only, I have a Jenkins server. In that Jenkins server, I will create Jenkins jobs. I will create Jenkins jobs. I don't want to run the job on the same machine. I want to run the job on the other machine. That is called my slave machine. Master should send a request to the slave to run that job. Master should send a request to the slave to run that job. So I need to connect the slave and master. So this slave machine is available. If you see, one slave machine is there, one EC2 is available. In that I installed Git and Java, and my Jenkins master machine is available. Now master is ready, slave is ready. I want to establish connection between the slave and master so that master should send the request. Master can send the request to slave to execute the job. Chalo, how can we do that connection between the master and slave? Go to Jenkins server. This is my master node where the Jenkins software is running. That is called as master node. Go to manage Jenkins. In the manage Jenkins, you can see one option called manage nodes and clouds. Go to this option. Currently, one built-in node is available. There is no other node. Now I need to configure the slave node in the Jenkins so that Jenkins can execute the job in the slave node. Okay. So step 1 is creating master node, Jenkins server machine. Step 2, creating a slave machine. Step 3, configuring the slave node in the master. Go to Jenkins dashboard. Once you have been to Jenkins dashboard, then go to manage Jenkins option. Then go to manage nodes and clouds option. That is what I have done now. Manage Jenkins, then go to manage nodes. Okay. Once it is done, go to nodes and clouds, click on new node, enter node name and select a permanent agent. Click on new node, enter the node name. I'm giving the node name as a slave 1. Select the type as a permanent node. Click on create. Oh, I have created a node. To complete the creation process, there are several options are available. We have to fill this form, then slave node will be created in the master. Observe, name I am giving as a slave 1, description can be anything, number of executors. Number of executor means number of threads that you want to use. If you want to run the 2 jobs, then you can give 2 executors, they can run at a time. If you wanted 10 jobs to run at a time, 10 executors you can keep. Currently, I'm going with 1 executor. What is your remote root directory? Yes, we have created one folder, right? Slave node folder. I'm going to configure that as my root directory where my job workspace should be created. In my slave node, I have created one folder, one directory called slave node. This is my root remote directory. In this directory, my job workspace should be created. /home /ec2 user /slave node. This is my remote root directory. Label, you can give anything. I'm giving as a slave1. Use this node as much as possible. Okay, use this node as much as possible. Launch method, how you want to launch this node? Launch agent by connecting to the controller, or launch agent via SSH. I want to launch this agent via SSH. Select that option. Enter the label name as a slave1. Select launch method as a launch agent via SSH. You need to select this option. Launch agent via SSH. Host. Host name nothing but give the host as slave VM DNS URL. Already have our slave machine. The DNS is available. Na? This is public DNS available for slave VM. Copy the DNS, that is the URL, host of that machine. Where is your slave machine? What is the URL of the slave machine? That host I'm giving, that is DNS of my slave machine. Are you guys getting my point? Creating the slave, creating a node name I'm giving as slave1, description, executors1, remote root directory, slave machine path I'm giving here. Label, you can give anything as a label name. Use this node as much as possible. Launch method, launch agent via SSH. And where is your agent? That means where is your slave? What is the URL of the slave? I am giving the DNS of my slave, public DNS of slave, credentials. So now EC2 VM is secured, right? EC2 instance is secured, or EC2 instance is not secured. EC2 instance is secured, or it is not secured. It is secured. How we secured that EC2 instance? Using key pair. Na? Using key pair, we have secured. Do we have a PEM file for that? Do we have a PEM file for that or not? Yes, we have a PEM file for that. So credentials currently, admin, this is my Jenkins credential. Ashok IT School, it is my GitHub credential. Do I have EC2 credentials here? Do I have EC2 credentials? This is the DNS of my EC2. This EC2 I am calling as slave machine. So in order to connect with this EC2 DNS machine, I need to have the credentials of the EC2. So credentials, I'm going to add credential. Click on add. Here, do you have the password of the EC2? We don't know the password. We know only username. What is the username? Username is EC2 user. What is the password? We don't know. There is a PEM file. From the PEM file, we need to get that private key and we need to provide that key. With that PEM file, we can connect to that slave machine. Instead of username and password, I'm going with SSH username with the private key. What is the option I'm selecting here, guys? Add credential, select kind as SSH username with the private key. That is the option. Guys, people are getting confused. Observe once again. Now I'm selecting the option launch agent via SSH. I'm giving the DNS of the slave machine. Credentials, currently Git credentials available, Jenkins credentials available, but this EC2 VM credentials are not available. This is the DNS of my slave machine. Click on the credentials, add the credential, add it, Jenkins. If you know the username and password of your EC2, you can configure, but I don't know the password of my EC2 user account. I have a PEM file, username with password. I don't have the password, so I have a PEM file, SSH username with the private key. Okay, now private key, SSH username with private key. What is the private key? We will get that. What is the username? Username is a EC2 user. My EC2 instance username is EC2 user. Private key, enter directly. No stored value, click on add. I need to add that private key here. Where is my private key? My private key is available as a PEM file. Go to key pair. I have a PEM file. PPK file is also not required for me. I have only PEM file. From this PEM file, can we get the key? Yes. Go to git bash. open git bash here, open git bash here. What I can do is cat pem file, enter. That's it. If you do the cat of the pem file, you got that private key. Just copy this private key, copy this private key, go here and paste it. That's it. Guys, are you able to understand how I got the private key from the PEM file? I have executed a cat command in the git bash, cat PEM file. It has given me the private key. Then I have pasted that private key here. EC2 user is the username. Private key enter directly. I have added this private key here. Click on add. Yes. Now EC2 user is coming. Select that EC2 user. I have selected that. Host key verification strategy, manually trusted key verification strategy I have selected. I have given that step also. Enter username as EC2 user, select the private key, select private key as enter directly and add the private key. Open git bash from your PEM file location and execute the below command to get the private key from PEM file. I have given the steps clearly. Cat command, give the PEM file. It will give the key. It will note, it will display private key on git bash terminal, on git bash terminal, on git bash terminal. Just copy and paste in Jenkins. Copy that and paste in Jenkins. Once it is done, select the verification strategy as manually trusted key verification strategy. I have selected this, then nothing else. Click on save. Okay. With this, my slave is created. Guys, with this, my slave is created. Come on. My slave is created or not? Huh. My slave is created. With this, my slave is created. Go back to the dashboard. Go back to the dashboard. Can you see my slave is available? Built-in nodes available. Slave nodes also available. If you click on the slave, it is already connected to the master. If you want to disconnect from the slave, you can click on the disconnect information, or else you can just keep it. You have the option to delete the slave also. If you want, you can delete the slave also. Now, master is available and the slave is also available. Okay. Are you clear with my point now? How to create a slave? By following these steps, can you configure the slave node in the Jenkins master node? These steps are sufficient. Step by step, everything I have given. By following these steps, can you connect the slave node to the master node now? Yes, I no need to repeat it. I no need to repeat it. Okay. Fine. Next one, go to dashboard. There is a hello world job is available. Now guys, let me go here and let me run this job. Hello world job available. Where is this job created? Job is available in the master node or job is available in the slave node now. Jenkins job is available in the master node or Jenkins job available in the slave node. Jenkins job is available in the master node. Okay, I will run this. Where it will execute? If I click on this button, run the job, schedule the build for hello job. Just I want to run it. If I run it, where this job is going to execute now? Hello world job. Where it is executed? Console output. Where it executed? Where lib Jenkins workspace hello world job. Where this job executed, guys? Master node only. Where this job is executed now? Job executed only in the master. Okay, can you go to the slave and can you check it? Is there any effect in the slave node? Nothing is there, just one directory remoting folder is created, that's it. In this slave node folder, remoting folder created, but job is not executed on the remote. Job is not executed on the slave. Job is executed on the master only. Now, I want to run this job on the slave, not on the master. Job is created on the master. but I want to run this job on the slave node. I want to run this job on the slave node. Can we do that? Can we do that? Come on. So with this, what we have done? We have taken Jenkins master and we have taken Jenkins slave. This Jenkins slave is connected to Jenkins master. Jenkins slave is connected to Jenkins master. Now, I want to tell to my job. I want to tell to my job, hey job, you go and execute on the slave machine. Don't execute on my machine. I am a master node. Job is created. I will configure the job, but job should execute on the slave node. Are you guys clear? Now go to configure. Go to configure. Now, can you see one option on the general? Restrict where this project can be run. Yes. Now go back to this dashboard. Go to Hello World job. Go to Hello World job. Click on configure. That means I can edit the job which is created. Go to configure option. Go to configure option. In this general section of this job, can you see one option called restrict where this project can be run? Restrict where this project can be run. Yes, select it. Label expression. We have given some label for our slave machine, right? Let's select that slave. Yes, option is coming automatically. What is the label name I have given here? What is the label name I have given? Slave 1. Now, when I select this option, restrict where this project can execute, I'm getting that option as a slave 1. Select it. That's it. Click on apply. Click on save. Go to configure. Restrict this job execution on slave 1. I have done that. Save. Okay. Now click on build one. Build now. Build now. Back to dashboard. Now see, job is executed on the built-in node or job is executed on the slave node. When I run that job, job executed on the built-in node or job is executed on the slave node. Job is executed on the slave node. Okay, go to the slave node. Go to the slave node. ls-l. Oh, can you see workspace created? Can you see workspace created? Yes, cd workspace ls-l. Can you see hello world job is available? Yes, hello world job is executed on the slave machine. Go to the job, build number, hello world job is available. Build number 3, go to the build number, see the console output. Can you see? Building remotely on the slave 1. Building remotely on the slave 1. Home, easy to user, slave node, workspace, hello world job. It executed on the slave machine. It executed on the slave machine. Job created on the master machine. Job execution has happened on the slave machine. Now, how we have done this? So once this step is created with this, with above steps, master and slave configuration completed. Master and slave configuration completed with above steps. Okay, next step, go to Jenkins server and create Jenkins job. Note, under general section, under general section of job creation process, select what is that option? This project, restrict this project execution, right? Go to hello world job, back to dashboard, go to hello world job, configure. Under general section, there is option restrict where this project can be run. Restrict where this project can run and enter slave node label name and finish. job creation. Unfinished, job creation. Execute the job using build now option. Execute the job using build now option. Got it. This job will be executed on slave node. Go to job console output and verify execution details. Go to job console output and verify execution details so that we can understand where that job execution happened. Okay, now if you see the third build console output, you can see building remotely on the slave 1 workspace. In this slave node machine, that job got executed. With master and slave setup in Jenkins. And do you know the reason also why we need to go for master and slave setup in Jenkins? Come on, guys. Are you comfortable with this topic? Job creation we will do in master. Job execution we will do in slave. Job creation we will do on the master, and the job execution we will do in the slave. Are you comfortable with the master slave architecture? Are you comfortable with the master slave architecture? Perfect. Okay. Good. Thank you. So this is very important concept that we discussed today. One is how to work with the users in the Jenkins and how to give the permissions for the users in the Jenkins. Okay, how to work with the users in the Jenkins and how to provide permissions for the users. How to do authentication and authorization in the Jenkins. Authentication means who can access our Jenkins. Authorization means what they can do in the Jenkins. Okay, now master slave configuration. So if you don't have the master and slave configuration in the Jenkins, then all the jobs will be created on the Jenkins and all the jobs will be executed on the same machine. Then burden will be increased. Okay, here to avoid this problem, we are going to use master slave. Jobs creation will be done on the master node and the job executions will be done on the slave node. Guys, when I have master and slave node configuration, can I execute the job only on master node also? Can I execute the job only on the master node also? Yes or no? Yes. If you want, you can execute on the master. If you want, you can execute on the slave. If you want to distribute the load, you can go and execute on the slave. If you don't want to distribute, then you can execute only on the master node also. All of you able to understand my concept? Is this clear for everybody? Good. Next, anyone having questions, you can raise your hand. Yeah. Hi, Akil. What is your doubt? Harsha Reddy, Akil. Yeah. Go ahead with your question.
This is Akil.
Hi, sir.
Yeah. Hi, Akil. Go ahead.
Yes, yes. Sir, today only I installed the Jenkins. I am facing some issues. We are installing the JDK in our global configurations, right? In that we are giving our Oracle username and password, right?
Right.
But in my case, I given a wrong password startingly, and after that I updated. Now I want to give the updated password. How can I give that one?
You can,
I stuck there only.
yeah, you can configure JDK one version, right? You can add, there is an option called add JDK.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, there you can configure that.
No, not there. You can check. No, not there. I tried today itself.
So you have given the incorrect username for that.
Initially I given incorrect. After that I updated. I want to give that updated credentials to there in our Jenkins. How to do that? Can you show
One
once?
second. I'm going to here JDK installations. Yeah, here you have configured JDK, right? You delete this JDK. Hello, Akhil.
Hello, sir. I did same
Akhil,
thing, but
yeah,
I am unable to do.
1 second. So here, go to manage Jenkins option. There is a concept called global tools configuration. So here we have added our JDK, right?
Yes,
JDK
yes.
installation.
Yes, yes.
Click on this JDK installation. Here you
Yes.
configured incorrect username and password for the
Yes,
Oracle,
yes.
right?
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Now you click on this option, delete installer.
Yes, yes. I did.
So
I
what you,
did same, but still it is taking wrong only.
still it is taking long one.
Yes,
Extract,
yes.
install Oracle kit from the website. I agree to this.
Because
Oracle.
it is not giving options to update the username and password.
Okay, I will check this one, sir. I will check it and let you know on this. Okay.
Okay,
How can
please.
we configure that once again? Okay.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So add installer, install this. Okay. How to
It is not
rename
giving
option to
options.
update.
Yes, yes.
It is not giving the options to
Yes,
update.
yes.
Okay. Yeah, I will check that, man.
Yes, sir.
RS, so you can suppose if you don't find the option for time being, you can uninstall the Jenkins and install it again.
How to uninstall? Can you show that?
Yeah, so I will give you command in the group. Okay.
Yeah. Hello. Hi, sir.
Yeah. Hi, Arsha.
Sir, could you let me share the screen, please?
Regarding?
Sir, the deployment is failed. I've tried many times, but there's something wrong, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Share your screen.
Sir, can you please share the command? I'm waiting for that.
Yeah, I will share. Once this class completed, I will share it. You can search in the Google, man, how to uninstall Jenkins.